December 1st, 1989. A quiet morning in the woods near Highway 19, Florida. Two hunters walk down a dirt path, their boots crunching against dry leaves, when one of them suddenly stops. Lying beneath the brush, they spot what they think is a dead animal, maybe a deer. But as they get closer, the stench hits them. It isn't an animal, it's a man. Naked, decomposing under the brutal Florida sun. There are 7 gunshot wounds to his chest and back. Police soon identify him as Richard Mallory, a 51-year-old electronics store owner from Clearwater. His gray Cadillac is missing, and there are no signs of struggle nearby. At first, detectives assume it's just another roadside robbery, until they notice something unsettling. The bullet pattern is precise, controlled, not random at all. No one knows it yet, but this body will mark the beginning of a killing spree that will haunt Florida for years to come. And the killer isn't who anyone expects. Far away, in a smoky Florida bar, a woman sits alone, unaware her name will soon make headlines across the country. Daytona Beach, Florida. A rough-looking blonde woman sits hunched over a bar counter, cigarette smoke curling around her face. Her name is Aileen Wuornos. She's in her 30s, tired and angry at the world. Empty beer bottles surround her. The neon lights flicker off her bruised skin. To strangers, she's just another drifter, another broken soul on the edge of the highway. But Aileen has a story. She grew up unwanted, beaten, and abandoned. By 14, she was homeless, surviving by stealing and selling herself. By adulthood, she had one rule: never let anyone hurt her first. She spends her nights in bars like this one, waiting for truckers, looking for a ride, or maybe a chance to forget. But even broken people can find something to hold on to. And soon, Aileen would meet someone who made her believe love could save her. In 1989, Aileen meets Tyria Moore, a hotel maid with kind eyes and a soft voice. They fall in love fast, 2 women against the world. They move from motel to motel, barely scraping by. But for the first time in Aileen's life, she feels seen. But love doesn't pay the bills. Aileen goes back to the highways, working the only job she knows, selling herself to strangers for $20 a time. Each night is dangerous, each client unpredictable. Some hit her, some threaten to kill her. And every time she comes back alive, the anger inside her grows stronger. One night, after a bitter fight with Tyria, Aileen storms out of their motel room, clutching her small pistol. She shouts into the night, "I'm not letting anyone hurt me again." That night, something inside her snaps. And soon, another man would pay the price. Somewhere on a lonely Florida road, a car slows down, and a familiar blonde hitchhiker gets in. A few nights later, on a deserted stretch of road, a silver Cadillac pulls over to pick up a blonde hitchhiker. The driver's name is Richard Mallory, the same man who would later be found dead in the woods. At first, it's just another transaction. Aileen climbs into the passenger seat, her hands shaking slightly. They drive off the main highway, the car swallowed by the dark forest. But something goes wrong. The man becomes aggressive, shouting, grabbing her arm. Aileen screams, reaches into her jacket, and pulls the trigger. Bang! Then again, and again. 7 shots echo through the empty woods. Mallory slumps forward, lifeless. Aileen sits there in silence, her breath heavy, the smell of gunpowder mixing with fear. She drags his body out of the car, leaves him in the bushes, and drives away in his Cadillac. To her, it isn't murder, it's survival. But once that line is crossed, there's no going back. Days later, another man would disappear, and another body would turn up on a quiet Florida roadside. By mid-1990, Florida police are overwhelmed. Men are vanishing, truckers, laborers, traveling salesmen, and one by one, their bodies turn up in remote areas. Each victim is found naked, shot multiple times with a .22 caliber pistol. Each vehicle is missing. Each case looks almost identical. Detectives start connecting the dots. Different towns, different victims, but always the same rumor. A tough-looking blonde woman seen with the men before they vanished. Soon, police recover one of the missing cars, a light-colored sedan abandoned after a crash. Witnesses say 2 women had fled the scene on foot. Forensics lift fingerprints from the door handle. The match is instant. Aileen Wuornos. Now, every officer in Florida is hunting one woman, a drifter who lives off the highway and carries a gun in her pocket. January 9th, 1991. Police close in on a small biker bar in Volusia County called The Last Resort. Inside, Aileen Wuornos sits at the counter, her beer untouched, a cigarette burning to ash between her fingers. The door bursts open. Detectives flood the room. Aileen doesn't fight, doesn't even flinch. She looks at them calmly and says, "You don't know a thing about me." Outside, cameras flash. Reporters swarm. The woman accused of killing 7 men sits in the back of a police car, staring out the window. Her face is blank, unreadable. But behind that silence, she's already thinking of someone else, the only person she ever loved. As police close in, Aileen's girlfriend, Tyria Moore, is about to face the hardest choice of her life. At the Daytona Police Department, Aileen sits in a cold interrogation room. She's quiet, defiant. No confession, no tears. But detectives have a plan. They reach out to Tyria Moore, Aileen's girlfriend, the only person she ever trusted. When Tyria arrives, the police make her an offer. "Help us, and you'll stay free." For 3 days, they keep Tyria in a motel under police supervision. Then they hand her a recorder and ask her to call Aileen. The phone rings. Aileen picks up. She doesn't know the line is tapped. Tyria, crying, "Lee, they're saying I could get in trouble. Please, tell them the truth." Aileen hesitates, her voice trembling. "Ty, you didn't do anything. I'll take the fall." That single call seals her fate. Hours later, detectives walk into the interrogation room. Aileen looks up and whispers, "You got me." January 1992. Aileen Wuornos stands before the court. Reporters crowd the hallways. The nation is watching. When asked how she pleads, Aileen raises her chin and says clearly, "Guilty. I killed those men, but they tried to rape me." The courtroom falls silent. No one knows whether to see her as a victim or a monster. Prosecutors call her a cold-blooded killer. The defense paints her as a woman broken by a lifetime of abuse. But in the end, the jury doesn't see a survivor. They see 7 dead men. On January 27, 1992, Aileen Wuornos is sentenced to death. She closes her eyes and murmurs, "I'm fine with that. I just want to go home." Years pass. Inside Florida's Broward Correctional Facility, Aileen spends her days in silence. She refuses visitors, pushes away the media, and even turns on her own lawyers. Her mind begins to unravel. In taped interviews, her eyes burn with paranoia. She claims she's being tortured by the prison staff, that the government wants her dead. But between her outbursts, sometimes she just smiles sadly and says, "The world never gave me a chance." She writes letters, sketches drawings, and counts down the days to her execution. October 9th, 2002. At 9:47 a.m., Aileen Wuornos is led into the execution chamber. She walks without hesitation, no tears, no fear. Before the injection begins, she looks at the witnesses behind the glass and says, "I'll be back like Independence Day, with Jesus on a spaceship." Those are her last words. Minutes later, her eyes close. The monitors flatline. Aileen Wuornos, the highway hooker, the woman who killed 7 men, is gone. But her story never really died. It became a mirror, reflecting how trauma, violence, and survival can twist a soul beyond recognition. And to this day, people still argue, was Aileen Wuornos born a monster, or was she made into one?